Hey guys, what's up? It's Josh. So for today's video, as you guys can see by the title, I wanted to talk to you guys about 5 totally confusing things guys do when they like you. So there's a lot of things that guys do when they like you, but I think sometimes guys will switch it around and make it super confusing and do the total opposite to what guys usually do. And usually the things that guys do are very obvious, so you can pick up on it really quick. But for today's video, I wanted to tell you more about like what happens if a guy does the total opposite to what you're expecting. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Here are 5 different confusing things guys will do when they like you. So the first one that I think is kind of interesting, because usually when you're going to like talk to your crush, you think that like that person is gonna be super happy and like wanting to talk to you. But what happens is when a guy has a really big crush on you and he hasn't really talked to you that much before, one of the scariest things that he can think about is actually having a conversation with you. When you walk up to him, you notice that like he's not that really happy person you thought he was. He's like more serious and quiet. Guys sometimes do this, and you'll notice that if they are really serious, like the reason that they're like that is because they're trying to play it really safe and they don't want to like say anything to mess anything up. So if you notice that he is getting quiet, or if he is really serious, after you have a couple conversations with him, he'll start to open up more, and then you'll get to see his like real personality. So the next one I think is really confusing as well, and guys do this often, and that's when they get overly confident when they're talking to you. The reason that it's really confusing is because the guy that you might be talking to might not be that person that's really outgoing or somebody who's like really loud, but then all of a sudden when you start talking to them, you notice that like they have this like macho man personality and they think that they're like the most confident person out there. The reason that I think that guys sometimes do this and it can be confusing is because guys don't want to come off as being desperate or needy. So as soon as they start talking to you, you might notice that they're like putting on this character of being somebody who's like totally out there and confident and outgoing, but really inside they're just trying to put on that act so that you get impressed. So yeah, if you notice that he is like really overly confident, it's just because he's trying to impress you. But you'll notice that like over time his real personality will start to come out. So yeah, that's the second one. Alright, so the third one, and I think that this one is actually really confusing and funny kind of at the same time, but when a guy is trying to tease you or joke with you, and if he's really bad at it, it can sometimes come off as being an insult. And so if you notice that like he's talking to you and he's saying something and you're getting really offended by it, but he's trying to tease you or joke with you, he might be super nervous and he might be saying these things because he's trying to get you to laugh. And so that's the reason that he's doing it. But if he's really bad at like teasing you and joking with you, then it might be kind of weird and you might feel a little bit insulted. But if he is a really nice guy and you really like him, you'll notice that like what he's doing actually isn't like his personality. He's just doing it to impress you. So yeah, if you do notice that, I think that it also means that a guy likes you, especially if he doesn't do that all the time. Okay, so I think that a lot of guys do this next one, and the reason that they do it is because they're trying to add value to what you think of them. So if you're talking to a guy and you notice that he starts to brag all about himself and talk about what he's good at, I don't think necessarily that he's trying to like beat you at anything or be better than you at anything. It's really confusing, but guys will do this because they're trying to actually tell you like what they're good at so that you get impressed and you realize that like, oh, maybe this person would be a good person in my life because they're good at all these different things. Now, usually when you're talking to somebody and you're bragging, it can be like really hard to have that person feel impressed, because sometimes it's hard to listen to somebody just talk about things that they're good at and not really care about what you're good at. But it is one of those like things that guys do without knowing sometimes. And so if you notice that he is talking to you and he's bragging, it might be because he's actually trying to like add value to what you think of him. So that is like super confusing, but it is one that guys will do if they like you. Alright, the fifth one, I think that this one is really confusing and something that might be happening to you guys right now. But when a guy is with you and he really likes you and you notice that like you're going to hold his hand and you're going to give him a hug, but he doesn't really want any kind of like physical contact with you, I think at first this can be really confusing because you think that maybe that person's not attracted to you, or maybe they don't like you as much. And what I think is going through a guy's head when he's doing that and he's not really wanting to like have any kind of physical contact with you, it could be that like he doesn't want to ruin the relationship that you guys have by moving too quickly. Like if he hasn't held anybody's hand before, or like really had a girlfriend, or like dated anyone before, doing these things for the first time can be like really scary. And I think that if he is moving really slowly, that's not a bad thing. It just might be that he's nervous to do all of the things that like you're wanting to maybe do with him. So yeah, it is really confusing, but I think guys do that, and it might be another sign that he just has a lot of feelings for you. So pay attention to that one as well. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Those are 5 pretty confusing things that guys will will do if they like you. I think that there are a bunch more, so if you guys have any questions or if you can think of any other ones that I missed, leave those down in the comments and I will try to reply to all of them and we can kind of reply to each other. Also, if you have any suggestions of like videos you want to see or questions you want me to answer, you can also send those to me on my Instagram DMs. I go through there every day and check them. But yeah, I really hope that this video and like the past videos that I've been doing have been helping you guys out. So leave me a comment and let me know. But I love you guys so much. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day and I will see you next Saturday and next week. Bye!